Man, are we smoking around here? Oh, man. So your class on clinical herbology is done. Our TV camera guy, he's going to be editing it a little bit, getting it so it snaps together. And I also filmed it's called The True Science of Health and the Reason for Symptomology. And it's a synopsis of the fact that diseases are an illusionary concept, and then I take you right into the atom, into duality, mind, emotions, and then into the physical world and the reality of chemistry. And to give you a synopsis, so you could take this video and show anybody, take it into a court of law if you have to, child services, see you negate that. You know it, because then you can sue, because this is all science. Nobody can negate any of that because it's real science. And then we have so much clinical work between me and you guys. You're going nowhere anywhere. And I say that from the perspective that I've lived a life of suppression from the AMA, FDA, states, stuff like that. And I'm just not going to take it anymore. And we're not going to take it anymore. That's enough's enough. You've had your fun. So I hope you enjoy that video. It's a real synopsis of physics and chemistry and the body and how it works and the two fluids and two sides of chemistry and the understanding of the kidneys connection and all of that. So it's only about an hour and 20. I think it's an hour and 25, maybe an hour and 40 minutes long. Try to keep it down. But there's even in a short overview, there's a lot to say. You know, you can't just tell somebody in 3 words what we're about, what we do, and why we cure. Our health word, cure, all these people of their problems. Of course, remember, nobody cures diseases. Just remember that. Take the word disease and throw it in the trash can. Let medical doctors wallow in their pain and suffering, because one of the big things that I was bringing out is, in a true health modality, you don't kill people. And look at the stats of how many people die at the hands of allopathy. Unbelievable. And then the oncology side of this is totally criminal and getting away with it. Look at the lady on the news where I imagine it was muriatic acid or hydrochloric, same thing. Hydrochloric, muriatic acid, the same thing. pHs of 1 to 1.8 strips the skin right off of you. And that's a level of chemo that, well, they used to give hotter than 1.5, I think. Now I think it's closer to 2. Still strip the skin off of you. I mean, these guys are lost in a serious problems. This is way out there in criminal weird world. You know, all for the guise of curing a mysterious creeping monster that attacked you and now it's moving through you, and it's like, what? Did you guys ever grow up? Let's see where I get myself in trouble for. It's almost Christmas. It's the holidays. Matter of fact, we're having our company party this Friday. Yep. This restaurant we're going to makes killer salads. Killer salads. Of course, they make a lot of other nasty stuff. But it's all home cooked and stuff like that. So a lot of, not everybody does raw during the holidays. So what? You do your best. Some of you are in serious trouble. So cheat a little bit and get yourself right back on the train. You make yourself feel good emotionally, pat yourself on the back, you've done a good job, and head on down the road, because Some of you are in serious trouble, and you just have to realize that, wake up to that, and know that there's only one way out, and that's doing the opposite of what got you in trouble. There's only two sides to life. One side takes you down the rabbit hole, the other side pulls you out. That's simple. Duality. It's on the spiritual side of life, physical side, the science side of life. This is Ty, male, Napper, Australia. Yeah, we had a good podcast, I thought. Turned out pretty good. This young man is 34. He's 6 foot and some inches. So immediately we're going to go into, probably a little pituitary going on there. And so, the endocrine glands in this young man's body is probably compromised to a certain extent. He's 194 pounds. Stage 4 kidney failure. Well, he notices on nephritis, sort of, but your glomerulus are inflamed and that. Whenever you see an itis to anything, you know immediately what system you have. Oh, the lymphatic system. And what side of chemistry does itises fall on? The acid side of chemistry. The kidney, what the kidney's made of. If your finger's made of this, what do you think your kidneys are made of? Yeah, your lymph vessels in your kidneys is just as extensive as it is in the finger. So when your kidneys quit filtering, your glomerulus swell, you quit filtering, then it's just up for grabs how long it takes to break down the tissue or the cells or a cell within the tissue. Generally, you just don't break down one cell. Generally, it's a bunch of cells that get in trouble. Just because they biopsy and pull one cell out, big deal. You could have several cells that are in trouble. But how do cells get in trouble? They're just sitting there being structure function. Remember, cells are structure and the function of that structure. That's what cells are. They're sitting there being cells. Now, granted, their genetic thinking is at issue, of course, because genetics deal with, remember, the mind, emotions, and all of that levels. Well, same thing with the cells. They have the same things, same issues, because they come through the same God worlds. Everything comes through the same forces that all things do. Nothing can be here physically, whether it's the atom, whether it's the cells or whatever, without first coming through the electromagnetic worlds of the mind and emotions. It's impossible. It doesn't happen. So it's just understanding that, and that dictates the functionability and the ability of structure. So this is where you see those sort of things. But when you're talking about the functionability and you're breaking down tissue to the point of atypical or a highly degraded cell, what medical people call cancer, you've been acidic in those tissues for a long time. I'm not surprised at 34. I've been telling you guys, you youngins, 20s, teens, 20-year-olds, 30, you're in trouble with the kidneys. And even though you might not be diagnosed like this at stage 4, you're in trouble. And pee in a jar, if you're not filtering, you're in trouble, no matter what age you are. You have to filter. You have to eliminate waste. Your kidney is your eliminative organs of your sewer system. Think of your lymphatic system simply as your sewer system. You can call it your immune system. Who cares what they call it? It's your sewer system. You've got to have a sewer system for the cells. Medical doctors just don't seem to get the simplicity of that. And by not understanding that and understanding that most kinetic wastes are acids, they're trapped in some kind of alkalotic world of numbnuts. I mean, it's unreal the amount of people that die at the hands of allopathy for the stupidity of their thinking. I'm not talking about a good surgeon, and I'm not talking about good ER work, stuff like that. No. That's true allopathy. I'm talking about the crazies that treat diseases with toxic pharmaceuticals that half of them have fatal events tied to them. Can't keep doing that. You know, this world's got to wake up to this. Allopathy's got to wake up to its killing machine. Remember the head of the AMA of the United States said, "Let buyer beware." When asked by 60 Minutes, how does the public protect themselves from medical doctors that kill too many people? Let buyer beware. Oh, I mean, if that doesn't give you the insight of allopathy, I don't know what does. And this, I think even 60 Minutes was shocked with that. What? So the first thing you know you got to do, the very first thing you have to do, I don't care what you've got, is you got to change your diet. You got to change the chemistry that you're ingesting, whether it's what you're drinking, what you put on your skin, what you're breathing, and what you're eating. You got to change that, because that's how you bring the outside world of acids in, and then you have the tissues creating acids as a byproduct of kinetic activity, whether it's metabolism, respiration, you know, that's all the elimination of waste. The elimination of waste is an acid experience, and if medical doctors don't understand that, I don't know what world you're living in. Do you drive cars? Fancy ones, probably. I drive a pickup truck, and of course I'm not going to go suck on my exhaust pipes. I got 2 of them because I got a Hemi in my truck. Sorry, I just, grew up with pony cars. I had a Cuda 440. My dad wouldn't let me get the Hemi back then. That's a 426 Hemi. I wanted one so bad, so I snuck behind his back and got a 440. My dad was a Chrysler dealer, among a million other things, and that was a nice car. I took it up to the Indianapolis 500, went down into the pits, and said, "Guys, what do you do with this?" And it was yellow. Back then you had black vinyl tops, and it was yellow, and I had a super track pack on it, which gives you a 410 rear end. Didn't have the cam to handle it, but they fixed me up, so I come rolling in my little small town of Nashville, Indiana, and I think they put me 13.5-inch tires on the back, 625 bicycles on the front, so to speak, and I was going, nah. But that when you're living in a place where there's nothing to do, small town, your car's basically your thing, horrible. So stage 4, the first thing you got to do is change your diet. And if I'm in stage 4 kidney failure, I'm on a grape diet now. Grape juice, grape diet. Wash them, make sure there's no pesticides on them with veggie wash, not just water, and grape it. I'm going to be graping it. I don't care. 30 days. Matter of fact, I want to say congrats to Debbie, Marco's wife. 47, is it, Deb? 47 days of just fruit. Unfortunately, the fruits run out in the UK, kind of, so they're struggling to find good fruit, but do what Debbie does. Debbie took on the self-discipline and took right off and did 47, I think it is. Some of you guys went way up there on just fruit. That's what you got to be. Watch the magic happen. And then, of course, you want to get on an herbal formula for the kidneys. Of course, I would do the lymph formula, but do lymph 1. Stay with maybe a half a dropper full. Take it light just for a little while. You got a lot of swelling there, but you want a kidney formula. Also, we're about to get it in any day now, and it's called Acid Relief. It's a tea. I would make that tea right now. If you have to, get the stomach tea, and then I'd make myself some tea, and I'd be sipping on that tea all day long. This acid relief is just really killer. So it'll reduce swelling and all this. So I'm excited about this. It's due in any day now. Definitely get that one. And start working with that. I get on the endocrine gland formula because you want to go after your adrenal glands. And then, of course, you've got a pituitary problem and you want to address that. So you want to make sure all that's done. Take a look at your fingernails and everything else. Make sure they grow good. They're not brittle or ridged or anything like that, because you want to think about the parathyroid because of calcium. Calcium's an antacid, of course. That's what acids pull out of the body, is calcium. So I would go down that road, get yourself on a bowel formula as well, right? and go down that road. Get the first detox kit if you want to. If you want to kill parasites, work on fungus, fine. But those are the minimum I would be doing, minimum. And then you'll pull yourself out of that. My name is Ty. I'm 34 years old. I have been diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease. I was diagnosed late 2018. Well, that's a long time ago. You just now getting a hold of us, son? You could have been that. You could have wiped that right out by now, easily. After a kidney biopsy, yeah, let's biopsy. Let's just punch these things. Yeah. They thought I had lupus to start with. Prescribed me with a concoction of autoimmune drugs to kick my kidneys back into gear. Oh my God. You know, somebody ought to write a book of the stupid things medical doctors say and do. It ought to be pretty thick. I mean, yeah, like the guy that says when you take steroids, an endocrinologist told a patient of mine, if you take steroids, because I teach you that if you take it, your body quits making it, and it's factual. They know that. And so, you know, long-term prednisone use, stuff like that, you're pretty much taking your adrenals and going poop, you know. And so he said, he wanted to put her on a steroid, and she goes, no, I know what it does to your adrenals. It shuts them down. He said, oh no, they'll go to sleep for a while, of course, but he said they'll wake up stronger. Oh my God, oh God, oh. I was taking 42 tablets a day, 80 milligrams of prednisone. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. You know what? You might also have to take a little bit of an adrenal, say 400 milligrams of the glandulars, because that much prednisone, you pretty much slapped your adrenal glands hard, and you need those steroids to help with the kidneys. See, the adrenals produces acidic steroids as well as it does alkaline steroids, and real important. I only lasted a week on them before I refused, as my head felt like it was going to explode. Isn't that sad? I mean, enter the world of botanicals. Enjoy this class on clinical herbology. It's 5 hours. I did over 5 hours recording yesterday, and tried to cover every single thing for you with that. And so that class will be up probably in a week or two. And it's part of a central class for a naturopathic practitioner. Absolutely. You have to know how to use botanicals in your practice. I don't want any of my students to graduate and walk out and go, what do I do? Get yourself back and review the videos, because you should know. And especially a good practitioner does it on themselves first, right? Yeah, I had a couple of counselors that I hired, I won't mention any names, they'd never really done it on themselves. They went to school, got natural health degrees, but they'd never been raw, never went down that road, even a fruit diet. How do you tell people to get well if you've never done it yourself? I had to farm. You know, they just couldn't help people at the level they needed. It's like, you know, you need to do it yourself. Know what you're doing. Know what you're doing on yourself. You know, why would you change your diet? Of course, why? If you don't know that, that's a problem, because there's only two sides of chemistry, and this young man here is in serious trouble on the acid side of chemistry, where there's only one fluid-based system in the body that deals with acids. The blood does not deal with acids. And if the medical doctor thinks that, then that's such an oxymoron to what he was or she was taught. It's not even funny. You know, everybody knows if your blood gets acidic, see ya. You know, so how does the body deal with the acids? And the body produces several pounds of acids, probably daily. I started peritoneal dialysis, yeah, hell, at home every 4 hours for 5 years. Oh, son, damn. I have now started hemodialysis 3 times a week. See, and that's the problem. You stop peeing. You get so swollen you can't even pee. I mean, that's not the order of things. And then they strip your blood during dialysis. They don't know anything about your lymph system, so they strip your blood, and then that's hell on earth right there. Very familiar, very familiar. So the problem is when you go on fruits, I probably wouldn't do fruit juices, especially if you're not self-urinating. If you're not self-urinating, then you can't do juices. You can't bring too much liquids in the body until you can get those kidneys opened up. That's the value of using an herbal formula that deals with the kidneys, And so you want to work with the herbal formulas for sure. And I would be double dipping them. I'd be doing 2 dropperfuls 3 or 4 times a day for sure. And then this tea, though, I would sip on the tea because it's a highly antacid tea. Another word they might use is anti-inflammatory, but they see inflammation as a disease. They don't have a clue to what even inflammation is. Duh. So you're not trying to stop inflammation. That's how your body brings in more blood to an area. Why? Blood is alkaline. Duh. And so the body's trying to open up and trying to get to this area and bring relief from acidosis. You're not bringing blood in because you have an alkalotic condition. I am restricted to 1 liter of fluid per day. Absolutely. Doing dialysis, they take 5 liters of fluid off and every 5-hour session 3 times per week. Very familiar with it. Very familiar. And in most dialysis centers, they have these little, I don't know what they call them, wall charts that says you have an extra kidney, donate one. I had one time. I don't know whatever happened to it. It's like, really? Really? Yeah. I mean, these people that donate a kidney to help someone, I can't even tell you how stupid that is. You might think it's such a humble thing. No way in hell. They've just compromised their life like nobody's business. Every kidney you have is essential to your body. Fix the one that's going down. They don't know how to fix anything. They don't know how to regenerate anything. We do. We're the healers of the world. Naturopathy is the core healing system of all modalities. Homeopathy is not a healing modality. It's a treatment-based modality. Chiropractics, all these are therapeutics. Now, there's a lot of chiropractors that know how to detox and regenerate you, of course. But that's not what chiropractics is. For 6 years, I've had a blood pressure of 200 over 120. Holy crap. Because blood pressure is kidney and adrenals. Your bottom diastolic is adrenal, is your kidneys, and your 120. You're double what you should be, but you're swollen. You're acidic in these tissues. Your lymph system's backed up in the kidneys. So you've got to open that doorway up. Recently, I've stopped taking 3.5 blood pressure tablets as it just recently dropped down to 160 over 90. Okay. And again, as you start on a raw diet, and again, you get, this is where you have this when you've got these kind of patients or clients. They can't handle liquids because they're not, I take it he's not self-peeing. And that's a problem. You've got to get yourself self-urinating. To do that, you got to get the swelling out. To get the swelling out, you do need herbs, and that's why this tea I've got is very valuable. And of course, it's nutritive. So even if you just did the tea, fasted on the tea, you'd be better off. But grapes, chew them slowly, and chew them up. Let all that energy pop and get into your electrical system. It'll travel to the kidneys. I take resinamum or something like that to keep my potassium low, and Regajol or something like that, and another one, Olatabs for phosphorus levels. See, all this is disturbed because your adrenal glands deal with sodium, your kidneys potassium, you have all your mineral corticosteroids, so phosphorus and these things can be off, your zinc, your iron, all this can be off. But you can't take it to try to bring that into homeostasis. You've got to fix the tissues and why they're in trouble. And there's only one side of chemistry that gets the body in trouble, guys, and that's the acids. Very few people get that alkalotic. My creatinine is always in the thousands. Oh my God. Holy crap. Well, you're from Australia, and so I don't know. Here in this world, your creatinine levels are generally 5 to maybe 9. We like creatinine levels here in the 5s or below. So I don't know what your lab rates this as in the thousands, but I take it's extremely high. Yeah. And it's just showing you that you have extreme acidosis of the kidneys. Their word, inflammation of the kidneys. I have muscle wasted quite a lot in my arms. Well, yeah, your whole body is acidic. Remember, your kidneys are the filtering organs of your sewer system. And your sewer system, a.k.a. just in the finger, goes from the top of your head to your little pinky on the toe. All these tissues on each side have to use the kidneys or the skin to get rid of their waste and byproducts. Your body just isn't just a consumer, it's a consumer and eliminator. Consumption and elimination are the two facts of all species, including plant life. And it's just, I don't know why the medical community got so stupid. Just unbelievably stupid. So you're going to see wasting away because your lymph system isn't filtering through the kidneys at all. And so I'm surprised you don't see tumors and things like this forming. I mean, this is, of course, I'm sure you're not eating much, but I don't know. This is the time, and I'm sure, I don't know, I hope not. Anybody that would recommend a protein diet or proteins with this kind of problem needs to go to jail. Don't pass go and do not collect $200. I mean, that would be insanity. Insanity. Take this young man down to Hellville and keep him there. Here we go. I haven't urinated in roughly 2 years. Yeah. But you got to get yourself urinating. To get yourself out of this, you got to get yourself urinating. And even dialysis compromises self-urination. People go into dialysis sometimes urinating, and then after several treatments, they stop self-urinating. Really? I remember an RN came in to see me. She wasn't feeling too good. And I said, "Oh, what kind of an RN are you?" And she said, "I'm a dialysis nurse." I said, "Dialysis nurse, huh?" She goes, "Yeah." She says, "I've got very sick." And she said, "I went to my medical doctor and he asked me the same thing. What kind of nurse are you?" She said, "I'm a dialysis nurse." And he said, "Get out." She said, that's what his reaction to that was get out. Isn't that interesting? I have parathyroid issues, and a calcium deposit in the left shoulder that has frozen my shoulder. Absolutely. Cannot lift above 90 degrees. And that's your lymph system, too. Your lymph system is going to start making you hard, son, and just sucking calcium out of your joints and everything, and also making you hard, where you can't move things. You lose your muscles. You don't come out of these sort of things if you can't get yourself back in a state of health. There's no pharmaceuticals. There's nothing they know or do to you. They're just trying to keep you from auto intoxication, for turning the blood acidic and then dying, so to speak. I have weekly iron at dialysis, and I tell you, when you do dialysis, get our superfood blend. I mean, you can't beat it for all the nutrients. And after a dialysis, take yourself a teaspoon in a little bit of water or a little bit of grape juice because it's all berries and fruits and things like that. That'll refurbish your blood because basically they strip your blood. And it's like, no. And then they try to build you back. Yeah, oh God. Injection for red blood cells. I am on the top of transplant list and have had some offers, but have come from an elderly person who didn't receive it. You know, here's the problem, son. One, whoever donates it's going to compromise their whole life. And two, now you've got a kidney that probably doesn't filter either. Most people don't filter in their kidneys. The only kidney you would want is somebody in the health field that filters, and they're not going to give you their kidney because they know better. They're going to tell you, fix your own. But this is a case where it's like this. You've got to work Ty right out of this, you know. And if you want, Ty, I would get with Jessica here and set up an appointment and try to get some help with this because slowly got to back you out of this. Very important because you're not self-urinating and you need them. And we can always go down, as you start urinating and things, we can always go down on dialysis to 2 days, that sort of thing. But you've got to get yourself urinating again. That's essential. And that's the problem. The natural laws and everything fight the medicals. They don't live with the laws of nature, the laws of chemistry, the laws of physics. You might think they're science-based. No, medical science is not true science. I don't care what anybody says. I read science journals all the time. And I can tell you there's been universities trying to match medical supposedly studies and stuff, and they can't do it. And their question is, are these true studies? Oh, no, I try to keep up on that. Oh, man. And then you're an elderly person who already has, if you're elderly, I can tell you you've got kidney problems, especially if you've never eaten raw foods and stuff. You've got kidney problems, whether you like it or not. Matter of fact, that's what kills most people. If you don't live well over 100, you got kidney problems. They also blackmailed me with the 2 times COVID jabs. God, Jesus, criminy. Jabs, as said, if I didn't get them, I wouldn't be on the transplant list. Yeah. These people are sick. And I'm not afraid to stand up in any court of law and point my finger at any medical doctor and tell them, you're sick. You need to be going to jail the way you treat people. It's unreal. Unreal. I deeply have always thought from day one that I can heal myself and avoid transplant. Absolutely want to do that. You absolutely want to do that, Ty. Oh, we got some eyes. Yeah, you pretty much have blue eyes, and they don't look very blue to me. Right around in the GI tract, looks like sulfur. I don't know if it is or not, but you got heavy lymphatic problems, no question. Yep. Oops, sorry. I got so many microphones and everything else in here. Yeah. You got pretty good genes. Your colon and your small bowels. Look over here. Let's see if I can get up here. Right there. Yeah, right there. That blackness. Your kidneys don't look that bad. Your left kidney looks the worst. What would be your recommendation for me to help with my healing journey? First of all, dietary, right? The problem is fruits are juicy. So you have to think maybe if you're hungry, use more like bananas and stuff like that. The less juicy ones, but your grapes are your magic elixirs. So don't juice anything, just eat them. And I will say this acid relief tea is due in any day now. Get some. and start sipping on that. Ben is a wholesaler over there, and we don't have it to give to him right now. But if he has stomach tea or something, go to a wholesaler and get some stomach tea. I don't know if we can mail directly to Australia, but it's enough to say the stomach tea would be perfect for right now. But this, like I said, this acid relief tea is due in any day. Hoping it's in today, and I'm excited. I'm going to take it. I just love it. And it's just a powerful antacid, and that's going to help. The problem is you can only sip on that tea, because the problem is you're not self-urinating. You know that. You know, it's too bad these people can't work with us, take maybe an extra dialysis day in the week and just hit it hard, but they have no clue. It's just something you have to wiggle out. At the same time, I'd get some herbal formulas for the kidneys, at least one herbal formula for the kidneys, 2 dropperfuls, 3-4 times a day. I would do one lymphatic formula, about a half a dropperful of that one. Right? I do the endocrine gland formula for sure, and the bowel formula for sure. If you feel weak and like that, take nerve power. That turns everything back on. That sort of thing with those. When you start getting things moving better, then you can kick this up a little bit better and then go for it. But you got to get yourself urinating, and you're kind of in catch-22, because dialysis can actually shut down your ability to self-pee. So anyway, you just work yourself out of this, because I wouldn't take another kidney. I would work myself out of this. And even if you did, sounds like both of your kidneys are in trouble. Just remember, each kidney represents the sewer system on each side of the body. You don't have an extra kidney just sitting there that you can give away or just replace. You really have 2 kidneys, and they are both essential to the wellness of the human form. P.S. Just recently on the 12/10/25, I received a kidney transplant. Oh, wow. Too late. Just recently on December 10th. Wow. I received a kidney transplant, and I am currently typing this from the hospital bed. Now that I have received this transplant and now have to take anti-rejection drops for the rest of my life. No, you don't. You'll find out. You keep working the state of health. Do not eat cooked food. Do not eat proteins, nothing like that, because you've got to get this kidney in a state of health. Your body will accept that as you accept that, but just keep working on your health. Same thing. I'm curious if I would still use your protocols. Absolutely. And go on a fruit, grapes, berries. You already know. Absolutely would. But keep your liquids down still for a while. You've got another kidney in there. You got to rebuild it. That sort of thing. And use the botanicals for that. Absolutely. Because you've got to make the kidney you got healthy. And also all that inflammation or all the damage they've done to your tissues to transplant, you've got to deal with. And I don't know how they transplant the lymph system. So, surgeons are not that aware. And if they are, love them. You have not more than blood vessels to rehook up. You got lymph vessels. Your kidneys are major lymph organs. I'm also very eager to have a Zoom call with your health center in the near future. I would have her help you, just as a pat on the back and help walk you through this. But thank you in advance for everything you do. Highly grateful for your devotion to. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Listen, I love you, man. And you just work yourself. We're here. You've got probably a lot of good people on Great Gate. Everybody's willing to help and extend a helping hand to you. But yeah, your lymph nodes are backed up. Your kidneys are just not that bad. Well, you don't have one of your old ones, but still not that bad. They just don't know how. But your lymph system is what's bad. It's just backed up. You have blue eyes, and they look you're white and yellow. and orange. I think you have sulfur in there. It looks like you have some chemical deposits, but I need better pics, son. Give me some better pictures, but because I definitely say you have a pituitary issue. Hard to see because you have so much lymph stagnation around the pituitary. Hard to see. Parathyroid for sure. So you've got upper neck or upper T-spine. Gallbladder, you need to clean that out, clean the pancreas out. You have more lymph than anything, so you got some fairly strong genes. You got a little cholesterol built up. Did you have damage to your eye a little bit? Your right eye? Your GI tract needs to be worked on. That's what the bowel formulas are for. Yep. So, we love you, man. Hang in there. And if you're peeing, excellent. Now you can put the pedal to the metal a little bit, and your kidney will get used to your body, especially when you start healing it and start working with the raw foods and stuff like that. Your body will hold that. I will say this: I probably would occasionally have a warm vegetable soup to bring balance, because if you go too raw and that kidney's weak, who knows? Your nature doesn't like weaknesses. All right, that's a sad one, but I've been preaching this for all my life. Kidneys, kidneys, kidneys. He's only in his early 30s. And so many of you are walking down this doorway. So even if you just took the next 6 months, got through the holidays, the next 6 months you dedicated to making your physical body healthy, and then whatever, balance out a little bit, whatever you want to call it, okay, but spend some time going after your kidneys and get them filtering. No kidney filtration, trouble. Troubles. Kenya, country Kenya. Wow, that's pretty cool. Lado, Paul, L-A-D-O, Lado. This is a 24-year-old man, 5'8", 132 pounds. Wow, 5'8", 132, a little skinny. Sun-gazing eye down. Oh, man. Sun-gazing eye damage, spinning translucent wheel in the middle of vision. You have to be careful on the internet. You have to be careful in some of these bizarre theories that are out there. What side of chemistry does the sun fit mostly on? Yeah, even though you have full spectrum lighting, and you can argue each ray has a different alkaline or acid effect, sun gazing is extremely acidic. So you burn your eye badly. So I'd get our eye wash, and I would take it internally, but I also would get it and kind of start out with about 3 drops in some water, and then get an eye cup. We have eye cups if you can't find one. Wash out each eye a couple times a day. Work yourself up to about 12 to 15 drops. It's going to burn just a little bit, but you have to heal that. We have a tissue repair salve. It is usable in the eye. See if you want to use that or not. But I would get our eye formula, no question. Now, internally, because you got to heal internally, because you probably damaged all the way back to the retina, things like that. So you want to be on a raw diet, and especially a fruit diet, because this is neuron tissue, and you want to be on a high fruit diet. If you can, go all fruit like Deb did for 47, 50, 60 days. Who cares? But repair that eye, and it'll repair itself. But you use the eye wash topically and internally. Also go after your kidneys, your lymphatic system, right? But that also brings nutrition because you're on a raw diet, and stay raw for a while so all the scar tissue and things like that can eat itself up. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to do that, man. There's a lot of people that have made that mistake. And I wonder, those people that promote that, are you happy? How can I fix a blind spot in the center of my eye as a result of sun gazing? It is a translucent spot in the middle of my vision that appears to be spinning like a vortex. That blocks anything in the middle of my vision. I can't read clearly either. Yeah, that's the way I would go. I would bring in that power of the alkaline side of chemistry and start healing those tissues. And that's what the eye wash is for. It promotes blood and lymph flow. Also, you could use Cell Regen formula. I've got a new formula called Cell Regen. It's for tissue regeneration, but you want to also think lymphatic, start clearing this up in here so that the body can heal this from the inside out. Topically it can help, but working from the inside out is always good. So you would use Nerve Power would be an excellent formula to use because it also increases blood flow to the central nervous system and the autonomic. So you got both involvement here. Also, you want to have the endocrine gland formulas, right? You want to get your lymphatic system moving through the body. That'll help. All of that. Believe it or not, that'll bring in more alkaline power, and you only heal on the alkaline side of chemistry. You don't heal on the corrosive acidic side of chemistry. And so everything you do now has to be alkaline with that. And I probably wouldn't sun gaze anymore. And any of you guys think that's a healthy habit, you're delusional. And whoever recommends, when you recommend something as stupid as sun gazing, you're crossing the line. You're crossing the line. You're hurting people. And that is crossing the line. Oh, it's Eric Day. Male, 30. Gee, mini queen. I got a lot of young people here coming. I love you guys, and that's why I am passionate about this, because of look at Ty, 34, stage 4 kidney failure, now has a transplant. And whoever gave it away is in trouble. That's the sad part about this, unless it was a cadaver or something. Another 6-footer. 125 pounds. 6 foot at 125 pounds. Let's use the word malabsorption. Because even if you had you're 6 foot, means you had a little bit of a hyperpituitary. You could have a little hyperthyroidism a little bit. But still, to be 6 foot and 135 pounds, I'm going to holler malabsorption, which is what? A serious lymphatic coagulation problem. Absolutely. 125 pounds. Stage 4 rectal cancer. I'm not surprised one little bit. All right. Because when you're only 125 pounds and you're 6 foot, your lymphatic system in the wall of your small and large intestines has got to be very impacted. And that's the first way you break down cells, is an impacted sewer system. That's acid just sitting there burning your cells. And they can only take so much. Blood can only help so much in a situation like that, right? So I've got a salve. It's a tissue regen salve. salve. It's the old ultimate salve. It's a burn salve sort of thing. I'd be putting that up in my rectal area. I'd be inserting that up. I don't have suppositories. I'm trying to get my lab to agree to make them, but that's what we need, is suppositories like that you can use both rectal and vaginal. Vital. You have to be 100% raw, and I would be 100% fruit. And if you can get grapes at this time of year, you want to be 100% grapes. What that will do, it'll help clean the bowel wall. It'll help put electricity through the bowel wall into interstitial areas. You want to make sure you're working on your kidneys and your lymphatic system, because the first thing you got to say when you say cancer, what do we say? Lymphatic. Cancer, lymphatic. What's another word we can associate with the lymphatic system? Acidosis. Acids. Again, look at that on the news. That lady was just walking down a park walkway, and somebody came and poured acid all over her. Had to be muriatic or hydrochloric. Now that person needs to have it done to them. You want to pour acid on someone like that? Let's just do it to you and see what you think. I'm sorry. I don't have compassion that way. No, you hurt somebody. Pay the price. I was diagnosed this year with stage 4 rectal cancer in 23. It was initially diagnosed as stage 3, where they did a colonoscopy and biopsy during the colonoscopy without my knowledge. Yeah. Love those guys. Yeah, so now, and that's the problem, when they go in and biopsy, they think they're being cute, smart, looking for a cancer cell, and then, we can get you that chemo now, baby. Oh, my God. The only thing that I hope you can still eliminate from that area, that's another reason why the fruit. Fruit is the easiest food to eliminate. It doesn't stress the bowel wall at all. It's just electrical as well. So there's a lot of reasons, and it's clean. You don't want to do grains and proteins and things like this. This is just to make this move from stage 4 way on up. No. You want to be on a fruit diet, and that ease of elimination. Right? And then hit your kidneys and the lymphatic system, because you don't want it to swell closed. If it swells closed, then that's when they're probably going to want to go in with surgery, or they're going to want to do radiation on it. And I will say this, I had one colon cancer case where the tumor was big enough that it closed the bowel off, it couldn't poop. And so I said, well, you got to do what you got to do. You're either going in for a resection where you have so much acidosis in that area that it's hard for a surgeon to get a good margin to hook them back. So he did radiation on it. At the same time, we were saying fruit and herbs, and he survived that. Did well. The tumor shrunk enough, well, they're burning the tumor up. But again, that's your sewer system. I was then rushed into harsh chemotherapy. Oh, no. Holy crap. I was then rushed into harsh chemotherapy, which I knew nothing about at the time, and I trusted doctors would lead me down the right path. That's the problem. That's what makes me sick to my stomach. We have so much trust in these narcissistic bastards that you trust that. And look what they do to you. Look what they do to humans. Let's rush him in. We got a cancer cell. Dumb. You know what? Go back. There was several studies done through the years, polls of how many oncologists would do chemotherapy themselves, and it was shocking. I think it was somewhere up in 80-90% of the oncologists would never do chemo on themselves. Just saying. They set me up a plan where I did Flofuranox, something like that, 5 whatever, which is multiple chemo. Hey, you're young. You can handle that acid. Multiple chemo at one, very aggressive. Then they had me do radiation immediately after, along with a pill chemotherapy. Hell, man, they didn't like you, did they? They said, let's kill this guy. Let's kill Eric. We don't like this guy. Let's kill him. He's young. He can take it. And then, of course, I need a new Mercedes, so let's get him. Let's hit him hard. This medical doctor in town, he was wanting to build a new house. And I was working in the hospitals at the time. And, of course, he got around through the nurses and stuff. And he told his staff, I want you to book me solid. I got to build my new house. After all the chemo and radiation, I was still the same stage. It just remained stable, but tumor size went down very minimally. Next step, they wanted me to get surgery to possibly remove my rectum completely. And I didn't want to live that way, so I denied and just kept an eye on my scans to see what would happen next. Remember, if you do not change what got you there, you will never overcome it. And what gets all of us into the realm of symptomology and Hellville is chemistry. There's nothing else out there that does that. There's no creeping crud. There's no monster Bigfoot that's coming into your rectum and going, let me play with that. There's none of that crap. You create your own by your lifestyle and your genetics. And we don't realize genetics. Medical doctors don't. They boo-hooed iridology, which might have helped them understand the lymph system a little more and the body a little more, but oh no. It doesn't fit in their illusion called disease theories. And if it doesn't, sorry, we'll still be the top killer of humans on the planet. We're there with the world order. We're bosom buddies, Rockefeller, everybody, the world order people. Hell, the more we kill, the better off it is, and we'll take their money. What else? Fast forward to now, I was forced to get the loop colonoscopy bag, which changed my body all over. I am very weak, lost most of my weight, and unable to do half the things I was able to do prior to surgery. You got the colostomy bag. So the loop colostomy bag, I'm not sure what that is, but they've got you tied in. It must be above the rectum. I'm reaching out to you because I ran into your videos and would do anything to get a plan to regain my health back naturally. I have tried things like all berries and melons, but only got about 6 weeks done. Then I became compacted and had to get the surgery done. Please help me to do what I need to do to get my body on the track. Okay, so how did you get compacted like that, impacted? Well, I'll say this. Get yourself on grapes. They don't impact you. You can also add a banana, a ripe banana now and then if you want. Mangoes if you can get them. And go down that road. These are not constipating foods. They're the opposite kind of foods. At the same time, I would get a bowel formula. I would get probably number 2 at this point. And I would get the kidneys. You want to go after what caused it, right? Because nobody's cured you from what caused it. So all your GI tract is in trouble. I mean, I just look at your height and weight to tell you that. So that's something that you want to go after your lymphatic system. These are lymphatic problems. This is how you get cancer cells, is your sewer system. So your sewer system is not your GI tract. Your sewer system is your kidneys and skin. Your GI tract is digestive waste. So, and again, these type of fruits keep your GI tract clean, and they clean your GI tract. They're also electrical. Hopefully you can get off of that colostomy bag, once you get all this fixed up, and you'll be in good shape. Hopefully they didn't remove your rectum. You don't have to remove things, you repair things, you fix things. Everything is fixable. But if you live in the world of diseases with some monster coming after you, and they do heavy chemo and stuff, which is so criminal, I can't even say. But this is all to save your life, son. And yet you're wasting away. And they'll do that. They'll do that until they kill you. But that's not them that kills you, of course. It's your cancer that's going to kill you. Man, the older I get, the more madder I get. Damn. But you want to get that opened up. I'd also do the endocrine gland formula, the nerve power formula, the colon, the GI tract formula, the bowel formula, a kidney formula, and a lymphatic formula, minimally. And we've got this, we've got this acid relief tea coming. You might get it and sip on it. It might really help reduce swelling and stuff like that in your GI tract. Because, let me say, it's not just rectal where you have this problem. You didn't send me any eyes, but I can tell you, your whole small and large bowels are probably impacted lymphatically. It's not just the rectum. Ooh. We've got eyeball Ruskies. First of all, this is a skin ring, all right? So when you see skin rings, you can pretty much go to the thyroid gland. Oh, Lordy, mercy me. Look at all that darkness in his thyroid gland. Parathyroids are down. Go up here to the left side, about the same thing. You can always see that, but what else do we have? Look at these lymph nodes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at them. You almost have a lymphatic rosaries. Look at how small your pupils are. All the white you see in this blue eye is lymphatic stagnation. And wherever you see these little spots and stuff like this and all over, these are lymph nodes or tumors. Lymph nodes, really, this is in the lymph node bed. See what we got cooking. Oh, there must be two people. Or, yeah, there's two people. No? No? Are these befores and afters? They are. I'm wow. No. Male, female. So it's got to be man and wife. All right, this one's in more trouble. Look at how dark the sewer system is around the pupil. And this is the transverse section of the colon. And look how it's infiltrating the head area, all this dark brown and stuff. Chronic lymphatic problem, chronic acidosis, right? Right eye, a little bit of a parathyroid for sure. All this is heavy lymph. Notice the yellow. This is a blue eye. Same color as the other one, but boy, it doesn't look it, does it? This is more yellow. It's why it makes the eye look more green. There's no such thing as green eyes. Left side, we got these kind of starting radius solaris up into the head. This is the back of the head, the ear area, left shoulder area. This is in the upper lobe of the left lung. Don't like how that looks. Bronchial trunk, pretty chronic. This is real close to the heart area, guys. This is the female, real close to the heart area. I'd be taking the heart formula to start strengthening that irregardless, because this is what this looks like. A lot of lymph congestion in the lower lobe of that left lung. Little weaknesses up at the spine, of course. Jaw. Chronic gut problems. You see what we got going here now. This is Jacques Steed, male, Jersey, 27 years young. Damn, man. 5'10", 161 pounds. Young athletes wanting to start our journey to Wellville. Male and female, hey? So, if you want to be an athlete, let me say this. You want to remove the obstructions to the flow of energy in the human body, right? The more obstructed you are, your energy flows are obstructed. This then gives you lower endurance, lower speeds, all that implies. So you want to remove the obstructions to the flow of energy. And there's 3 flows of energy in the human body minimally besides your own consciousness. And that's blood, nerve, and lymph. 3 flows. And what blocks the flow of most energy systems is the lymph. Because alkaline chemistry doesn't swell, it just is electrical. It's your lymph that's acidic that it becomes agglomerated. It's called cationic. And it's that system that blocks. And you both got heavy lymphatic problems, especially the female. And that's important. Your lymph nodes are swollen in both of you. And you probably had this at this age. You probably had this since birth. Your mom probably handed you a swollen lymph nodes. And you want to do everything you can to open them up and get your kidneys to filter. P in a jar. Of course, this is a lot in this jar, but I love that. Look at that. We all think this is sulfur in here. But that's what you're looking for, is to get sediment in your urine. And at your ages, I would do everything I can to get my kidneys to filter, because the female has a lot of work to do. GI tract, sweetheart, is chronic. So that's why we always add a bowel formula. It's not to move you. We got them at the levels that move you, of course, but it's to clean and restore the gut. Because that's your embryonic trunk. That touches everything in your body one way or another. You know, you acidify that bowel, you can have problems everywhere. And in the stomach, that's your autonomic ganglia, so to speak. You can have chest pains with that. Your skin is down on both of you. And that's always thyroid, pituitary. With the female, we have pituitary weakness, for sure. And that you want to look at, sweetheart, because that affects the ovaries, that affects conception, that affects height, it affects all the other glands, the functionability of the other glands. And you've got a lot of nerve rings. That means your autonomic nervous system's chronic. And that, to be an athlete, you can't have chronic neurological problems, because that's your endurance. The autonomic is how you move, how you swim, how you breathe, how you run and jump. That's the autonomic, and you've got nerve rings all over the place. I don't see any real nerve rings in the young man here. No, not really. Take a look at her. Look at all these nerve rings. Holy crap. What else would I see? Well, I'm talking about her. Yeah, your back of your head. Left side, you've got left ear, chronic left ear, and it might even affect your left shoulder. A little bit in the mastoid area, so this can create equilibrium problems. And I look on this right side, and it's ear and close to the mastoid area. You're chronic there, sweetie. Sinuses are chronic. You need to clean your liver out a little bit, and gallbladder. Your pancreas also has some genetics in it. Yeah, I mean, you got some spots in the kidneys. Your adrenals are chronic. You got a lot of lymph stagnation in that right kidney. Lower back to match that. On the left side, you have, and be careful with this because, I mean, in my opinion, you have some chronic issues on the vaginal wall and in the uterus, heavy lymph stagnation in the uterus. This can cause you serious endometriosis and also spreading into the cervix. You have a little bit of a chronic kidney on that side as well. And again, I don't like your heart area. A lot of chronic looking weaknesses in the heart area and also in the bronchial trunk and up in the left shoulder. Those are the classic three. Dr. Jensen used to comment on that a lot. Heart, left shoulder, left bronchial trunk. And that's, you've got that classic look there. So you want to work with that. Also, this might be lower chest wall, it might be spleen. The young man, you're malabsorbed. You've got a lot of lymph stagnation interstitially in the wall. Your pupil's a little out around here. What do we got? We got a little parathyroid going. Oh, yes. A little parathyroid. Oh, heck yes. Yeah, right side, very, very, very much parathyroid weakness. You want to take a glandular for that, especially if you're an athlete, because you start fracturing, you won't heal well, and you'll fracture easy. You see that in sports all the time, and they don't know. They don't understand the parathyroid, thyroid. But you got to, if you want to be good athletes and stuff like that. And for you, sweetheart, check your fingernails. Make sure they're strong, not ridged or brittle. That would be your parathyroid as well. And you got a pituitary, which can suppress on that thyroid. Yeah, we have, the young man has right kidneys big time. And I will say this, probably prostate with it. Yeah, your lymph nodes, you've got to get them opened up. But you've got pretty good genes, except for these things we're talking about. Your lower chest wall is weak, and you might even invade the spleen a little bit, so be careful there. But well, I mean, this could be your right hip, right leg. All that looks weak to me. But then you have that right-sided parathyroid, thyroid weakness big time. And so when I look down below, it looks like your right hip, your right leg is also very weak. So if you want to be an athlete, you want to strengthen all of this up, or you're going to have trouble. And it's not the kind of trouble you want, right? Okay. I have recently discovered your work on Rumble and Spotify. Love listening to your videos. Thanks, my friends. Videos while delivering takeaways. I feel like I am learning a lot and the hours fly by. I appreciate that because, man, I've been trying to educate you guys, especially you young guys and gals. You're too young to have all these things, you know, and it's not fun to have a life and then always have serious problems and nobody knows how to fix you. Allopathy knows nothing how to fix anybody, to regenerate tissue, anything like that. Come on, give me a break. They'll cut it out first. I have attached both my eyes blue and my girlfriend's eyes brown. Yeah, thought so. She is 24 years young, 5'6" and weighs 132 pounds. 5'6", she's just a little short, but I see the pituitary in her. But your girlfriend, she has a fair amount of work to do on herself lymphatically. But both of you have lymph nodes in trouble. Both your skins are down. Parathyroid, that's a big one for you, my friend, because, again, getting into sports, you'll start pulling tendons, fracturing bones, and it depends what you're into. We both do mostly tie and compete in events. Yeah, ooh, I like that. Yeah. In Jersey, Channel Islands, and the and the UK regularly, so we feel like we are pretty fit and healthy, but would love for you. Oh no, man, you can quiet the mind more. You can see more. You can have more power to muscles, more speed, a lot more speed. Oh yeah. You can take these bodies here, and if you're doing well with these bodies, I can tell you, you're going to do 1,000 times better to get them back in shape. Because you do have to be careful. You can still break bones. In iPix, P.S. I have recently stopped smoking, but I had smoked for 10 years. Yeah, because, again, with your parathyroid down, you're smoking, doesn't matter what you smoke, you bring that in. That's bringing acids right into your blood without a buffer zone. You don't have any carbonate. Bicarbonate, you don't have anything to buffer. So you're bringing these acids right into the lung tissue and then right into the blood. And that's when you start to see the loss of calcium. Well, you can't afford the loss of calcium. Neither one of you can. But especially you, because look how dark. Again, your parathyroids and thyroids are dark. So that it can be a very serious problem as you start to get older. And especially involved in Thai and stuff like this. So, get that fixed back up, get a parathyroid glandular. I did on my kidneys, my lymphatic systems, because you guys got to break your lymph nodes loose. Because if you don't, that's where you start having tumors as you get older, and especially the female. She's got a lot of subacute lymphatic problems, and these are not brown eyes. I hate to tell you, these are blue eyes. That's the scary part. And you might go, oh my God, they're not blue. Trust me, go deep into the detox world and watch. Since 23, I have become increasingly aware of the spiritual side of life. Well, of course, right? Awareness, consciousness, all the lies we have been told. Yeah, it's just unconsciousness, man. The more unconscious you are, the better creation survives. Now, the more wars and everything else. Because the more conscious you get, the more you want out of at least this level. I'm telling you. I don't know too many masters after waking up love this level. It's just a hard chemical level. Damn. All the lies we have told. I quit my office job and started doing what I love, which is personal training. Ooh, I like that. M-U-A-Y, Thai, and strength and conditioning in the gym that I fight out of. I also go around care homes taking sit-down boxing sessions. Well, that's cool. With the elderly, which is a very eye-opening experience as I get to see a wide variety of people. No kidding. Been involved in a lot of nursing homes, but I've also pulled a fair amount of people out of them. But then again, a lot of them, I've had people that their family didn't want them. So, I've had all kinds of things in 50 years of seeing people. I tell you, I had a guy, his wife and son came to me. He was in a nursing home. He couldn't talk anymore, just stared, bedridden. And they said, is there anything you can do? And I said, well, sure. As long as you get the medical doctor that oversees that nursing home to approve it, and you bring in the food for him, the fruit for him. Yeah, and this was in June, I think. Christmas, I had him at home talking and having fun with his family. That was a good case. And I get to see, yeah, I know, sad shit. No offense, sorry for my language, but, you see them in nursing homes, what you see is ice cream, milk, all the crap that puts them in there. Oh, God. I know my wife was ahead of a couple nursing homes, especially the Alzheimer's unit and a new one. Talk about sad. Someone who is 100 years young can be fit and complete the boxing set. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, I've had Islanders in here, man, just as quirky as you can get, 100 and some. Another person who is 70 struggles to compete the full 45 minutes of the session. Oh, yeah, everybody's uniquely different. Maybe you could enlighten me to how this is. It is mainly diet. Absolutely. You know, you have to go no further than go into the islands to the older people that were raised on fruit and look how old they are. Like I've said this before, there's islands where people live 120 easy. Go up to Alaska and see if you find any 100-year-old people and what they look like. Matter of fact, look at the young people. All you have to do is watch Alaska programs like Life Below Zero. Now there's the Northern something there that I'm watching. Look at their teeth. Look at their skin. And they're young. Protein pulls calcium out, and these poor people live exclusively on proteins. Well, I watch, you know, and there's potatoes and there's some vegetables. I don't know where they go to town, if there's a town around where a lot of them are. But a lot of these people trap for a living to survive, you know, tons of meat. We're frugivores. So you're being totally opposite, but anybody can survive in -degree weather or even a near freezing all the time. Hats off, I guess. Whew. Damn. But you'll see the difference. I've had them in my clinic all the way up to 102, 110. Amazing. I had a 102-year-old guy there getting married for the 5th time. His only problem is he couldn't get little Winky up. That wasn't hard to work on. So, I mean, it's just amazing. Amazing. I take my hat off. And, you know, it's poverty. They didn't realize the poverty. When a lot of islands got meat, a lot of the islanders couldn't afford the meat. Only the higher caste could afford the meat. But they didn't know how important that was to maintain their health. I had a 95-year-old woman. I couldn't believe her. She said, well, what are you always asking me if I'm 95 for? And I said, because look at you. Your skin is tight. You have your original teeth, and they look perfect. She said, yeah, I was raised on fruit. She said, I never was sick. I felt so good growing up, but when I moved to the States, my diet changed, everything changed, and I haven't felt so good. I said, of course. I said, what do you think about it if you go back to eating fruit? And she said, really? I said, that's what I'm all about. Maybe that's the thing. When you're in a nursing home, these people don't have much choice in what they eat. You could take half of these people out of the nursing home, easy half, if not more, and bring them home again. Again, a lot of the family doesn't want them back anymore, I have to tell you. Had a lot of experience with that. Couldn't believe it. I even had a man that didn't want me to get his wife back. Coulda. I mean, I don't know. I don't live in that kind of world, so I like to see how far down you are and how fast we can regenerate you. That's my challenge. How bad are you, and how well we can get you back? Such as holding on to negative emotions like anger. Yeah. There's that spiritual work, the emotional, the astral body work, and those are the adrenal glands. But you have to work on the adrenal glands to reach into that body to help them. And that gets what? Sits on top of the kidneys, that's your lymphatic system. And so that's why you see all the nerve decay, you know, that's the autonomic. It's everything you see. That's all regenerable. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair going, dripping and everything else. You can regenerate yourself. Don't sit there and think you're going to go out that way. But no one's there to help them. You know, after a while, I get it. Families can only handle, you know, them so much. And then, yeah, I get it. Been there and done that. I had my mom and my grandmother in nursing homes. They got to the point where you couldn't handle them. But it couldn't get them to listen. And I wasn't where they were. So, you know, no help and support anywhere. So I had to bring them to Florida. And, of course, they were already ready for nursing homes. My grandmother's already in one. And the best nursing home I found, I had my grandmother when you'd always see fecal matter under her finger. I tell you, some of these nursing homes are horror houses. Until I got her into Bon Secours, St. Joseph Hospital. Nightmare. But that's the crap you have to put up with, you know. But you can regenerate these people if you can get them on diets. But nursing homes, they don't know what diets to feed them. I see them all the time with ice cream, milk, desserts, nasty-looking meat type stuff, all kinds of crap. All these people should be on fruits, berries, and melons. Maybe a salad, okay. But big fruit meal in the morning, a big fruit meal at night, man, half of these people, you got to wake them up, get them up walking again, give them a life. Instead of just walking around a nursing home or in wheelchairs, walking around. And your Alzheimer's unit's pathetic, crapping in their own beds, jumping in beds with the other people. I mean, it's just... There's a lot of crap that goes on in these nursing homes, and no one's there to help them because they're ran by who? Oh, medical doctors. I'm sorry, I've taken no prisoners when it comes to the medical world, except for good surgeons and ER docs. I'm taking no prisoners because take a look. Proof is right. Proof is there. You don't have to read. Proof is right there in front of you. When I read these, the proof is right there when you hear what they've been through in the medical world. Has been omnivore diet. My fuel intake up till now, October 25, has been an omnivore diet. However, since discovering your work and resonating with me, I will be moving frugivore. Yeah, there's nothing like it, especially if you're into martial arts. Holy crap. I was into martial arts for a lot of years. I used to carry a bag around with me, and wherever I'd rent, I try to hang it and work out. I love martial arts. It brings balance to both sides of the body. I love all forms of martial arts. Just love it. And to me, it's just great training for all levels. Of course, I'm an old Shaolin thinker. I would have loved to have been raised in a Shaolin temple. Going frugivore after my next fight on 1st of November 25, as I know that this is the truth of what it should be. Oh, yeah. And your fight will be quicker. You'll see things quicker. You'll react quicker. I mean, I tell you, when you remove the obstructions to the flow of energy, you can't believe it. And you don't have to worry about muscles because you start feeling a power come into the muscles you never felt before. I mean, there's no taking proteins for it or nothing. This power comes in. It's like, holy crap. Man, it came into me, and I'm going, holy moly. It was just amazing. And especially if you're into martial arts, kickboxing, oh, man. I clearly meant to be eating fruit. We have just been programmed to believe otherwise. Absolutely. The medical community has nothing to do with health, and that they stole it from us, and then they're trying to act like they're the ones that know everything about health. And I say this before, all these programs, including Fox News, always use these stupid medical analysts when they have a question about health. They go to a medical doctor. Oh, really? They never go to naturopaths. And they did have, I think Fox News did have this one naturopath on this one show for a half hour or something like that. They got this female naturopath. She didn't know her butt from a hole in the ground. And so a medical doctor chewed her up on vaccines. He should have never been able to chew her up on vaccines. She should have been able to shove vaccines down his throat. And I'm thinking, here you go. You put a stupid naturopath on there that doesn't know anything about health, and that's what you get. Made her look stupid. I would know what formulas yours would be recommending. Again, go after your kidneys and your lymphatic. Lymphatic system is always number one outside of your diet. Your lymphatic system is number one because that invades everywhere, and that deals with the acid side of chemistry. Acids are corrosive, hardening, agglomerative. They make you harder, slow you down, all of that. They suppress cell function, and then they break down tissue, break down your cells, break down your muscles. You don't want to go that route. And protein takes calcium right out of you. And then, of course, when I see this parathyroid weakness, that's your calcium, of course, and that's in nerve transmission, that's in your connective tissue, that's in all these things like this. So you guys want to work on yourselves. And then I see your lymph nodes swollen all over the place, and especially the female. She needs a lot of work on her lymphatic system. Again, honey, you've got blue eyes. Take them from me. Those are not brown eyes. Let's see if I have a brown eye to show you. Here's a true brown eye. Let me show you the difference. Let's get myself together here. Oops. There's a true brown eye. You're far from a true brown eye, sweetheart. See that cholesterol up there, the halo? That's cholesterol. But look at that. See, the brown is a brown. You have a blue eye, sweetheart. Believe it or not, this is the color of your eye. Are we way off from that? We're way off from that. There's only brown or blue eyes in humans. Sorry. So, sweetie, you got some work to do on yourself. You got to open up your skin. That's your thyroid. You got your pituitary involvement there. You're only 5'6", so that also affects your ability to conceive and have children, or to carry to term, or to have horrible monthly cycles. You can get into all of that. And so, getting on a fruit diet, oh man. You really change your whole world. And again, when you do these things, you're going to go through healing crisis, you're going to go through detoxification, or better put, hydration. As you hydrate, hydration cleans you. Bottom line. You can't stop it. That's the nature of chemistry. This is all chemistry. Everywhere, if you can't explain it through chemistry, then you don't know what you're talking about. Because everything breaks down to the atomic structure again. Look at everything is atomic. Everything is made of atoms. And atoms are dualistic. Everything in the world is dualistic. Even when you get into physics, you get away from physical chemistry, you get into frequencies of electromagnetic energy. You're dealing in two sides, positive and negative. Yin and yang go all the way, and all the worlds of creation, mental, emotional, all the worlds are dealing in duality of creation. Now, of consciousness, there's no duality in consciousness. There's no two of anything in totality. It's all one. And that's why when you break the chain of thought, which is the first worlds of duality, you're into pure consciousness. You're into the present moment. You're into the now. There's no memory. There's no past and present. There's no here and there. Everything becomes the one again. It's intense. Very intense. If you want to know God, strap yourself in. It's intense. It's a tense, lone state. But everything you deal with in this world is duality, and chemistry only has two sides to it. And everything you experience, you can experience through the worlds of duality. Negative thoughts, positive thoughts. Negative emotions, positive emotions. Acid, base. Day and night, hot, cold. It's all chemistry. Whether it's colors, whether it's smells, whether it's temperatures. It's all chemistry. Believe it or not. Okay. Let's see if we got one more here. And this is the weekend coming. This is only Wednesday, but I'm tired. I've been doing videos for 2 days straight here, and I was able to get in a little TikTok and a little Instagram, but that was just challenging you guys on a grape diet. See if you can do it. 5 days, give me a break. Babies can do that, right? So, but I got a lot of work to do outside of my yard. And tomorrow morning, I have a 45-gallon navel orange tree coming, and a pomelo, but that's only like 30 gallon. But a pomelo, those are your great big, like half orange, half grapefruits. So I got to be ready for those guys. They're going to come plant them tomorrow morning. And then my grove is pretty full. All right. This is Margarita. 43 years young, 5'1". Yeah. So we know immediately there's pituitary problems, and this is just one eye of hers. Look at all the bowel, GI tract, kind of radius solaris. And this is the left side, so sweetheart, you've got some pretty chronic weaknesses up here in your cerebellum and mastoid. So this is your equilibrium vertigo center. So you got to be real careful here. That's back of the head, also affecting the ear, I think, and the left shoulder. Lower bronchial trunk here on the left side, a little bit. Left kidney is where your problem is. You have a really genetically weak left kidney. Chronic adrenals, you got nerve rings. So you have chronic adrenal glands, probably have real low blood pressure. I mean, it'll flip as you get older to high, but once you clean up all that acidosis, it'll go right down to your genetic passing in. And so you really want to work on your endocrinology, really importantly. Pituitary is chronic. Pineal gland is weak. That's your ability to rest and sleep good. That's down as well. You need to work on your GI tract, of course, your stomach and bowels. Your groin, you've got some genetics in your groin here on this left side. It might be effectual to your hip on that side. Let's get my little glasses. Remember, if you can get me pictures of this big and this close, it's more helpful. But these are brown eyes, and they're not too bad. But all right, so look at these nerve rings. Let's see if I can do this. Look how thick, look how deep these nerve rings look. See how kind of deep they look down in? That's these, where am I? That's these little nerve rings here. That's how thick your lymphatic system's backed up. You have heavy lymphatic problems. Your nervous system's down. That means your blood pressure can be, like I said, low. That's the lower the systolic number on your blood pressure, the tighter you feel. That's your autonomic. That's your movements, heartbeat, breathing. You know, then you get into anxieties. The more nerve rings, the more chronic, the more anxieties you have, the more phobias you have. I might also say that your uterus, I mean, I'm just going to throw this out. It looks right there. I'm not, you know. Let me see here real quick here. Don't mean to take up your time, guys, but yeah, I mean, this is real close to the uterus or bladder. Chronic, a lot of lymphatic problems in both. Let me see here again. Yeah, mid back to upper back, got some chronicness in the upper T-spine, lower back for sure. Yeah, chronic pituitary. But I don't like this back in the back of the head either, in the cerebellum and mastoid area. Like I said, your eyes should be light brown and they're dark brown. And that's, you can see that thickness through these nerve rings. So yeah, you want to work on that. I don't see really heavy prolapsus of your splenic flexure. Even though there's a pituitary, your flexures doesn't look prolapsed. That's pretty good. You might have a little Humpty Dumpty in your descending colon, meaning a little diverticulums maybe or something, but let's see what's going on with her. Dear Dr. Morse, been told I have Lyme's, mold, hypothyroid, dizziness, or vertigo. Oh, did I say tendinitis, hormonal imbalance, kidney stones, chronic fatigue? Did we just nail that pretty good looking at her eye? Of course. Once you learn how to read eyes, she didn't have to tell me she had all these things that shows up. Now, I didn't notice the thyroid. I don't have the right eye, though, to see what's going on in that side. But your lymphatic system's so bad that you probably do have a lot of fungal problems, honey. So you want to get the fungal balance. It's real strong, but that'll help really bring that fungal down. At the same time, you want to get on a diet of fruits, berries and melons, and maybe a salad in the middle of the day for a while, and then try to spend a week or two with fruits, or as long as you can. But you've got to open up your kidney's ability to filter, because you have a serious left kidney weakness. I don't know what your right kidney looks like, but your lymphatic system on the left side of your body is really backed up. Right? And then your dizziness and equilibrium are coming right back here. You have genetics back in your cerebellum and mastoid. And the more inflamed or the more acidic you are, the more you're going to notice that. Dizziness when you stand up, out of balance, things like this. And you're only 43. Not good. Some of this is a setup for like MS, Lou Gehrig's, things like this. Forget Lyme's. Lyme's, lupus, fibromyalgia, they're all the same thing. Systemic acidosis. And then you can have high fungal problems on that, grow moles all over your skin and things like this. So you can go after the fungal problems with a good herbal formula like fungal balance, but at the same time, you want to go after your kidneys, your lymphatic system. You want to use your endocrine gland formula for sure. You're only 5'1". Have you had children? And be amazed if you've had. Some shorter people do manage to have kids, but a lot of you ladies that are short just can't conceive and have children. Hypothyroid, and that might be coming from your pituitary suppressing your thyroid, because on your left side I just see a lot of lymph in the thyroid gland. Once you clear all that out, your thyroid will start functioning better. But I do see the pituitary that controls the thyroid, TSH. Tendinitis, you've got lymph pressure. You're backed up. You've got lymph pressure. Hormonal imbalance, well, your pituitary controls all your endocrine glands. You have chronic adrenals. That's all your steroids, estrogen, progesterone, all your gonadals, your testosterones, aldosterones. Also, it controls your sugar metabolisms, your mineral metabolisms, your neurotransmitters for your autonomic. That's why you're so tired. I don't know how low your blood pressure is, but it could get low because you have nerve rings. When you start to see rings in your eye, yeah, you've got chronic adrenal glands. And on top of that, to be 5'1", you have a chronic pituitary. That's all your hormones and steroids, basically. And you want to check your parathyroid. Make sure your fingernails are strong and hard, because if they're not, as a female, even a male, but I mean, you want to get in to that parathyroid glandular and get that perked up. And I would be double dipping on the endocrine gland for a little while, because your endos are down. You definitely have hormonal and steroidal imbalance. Kidney stones would have no doubt you have serious kidney weakness. And we have a perfect stones formula, tea and tincture, and it'll break up these stones and help them pass. So I would do that, but that's why you have these problems, sweetie. That's exactly why you have these problems. So you want to be careful, because you're prone to cholesterol problems. So you want to be real careful here and head on and get your kidneys filtering. You know, see that sediment. See that sediment in your urine, right? And, head down that road. Get on your raw foods. If I'm you, I've got all these problems. I'm 43 years young. I'm going 100% raw at the very least, and 80% of that fruits, berries, and melons. And then whenever you can jump up on like a fruit fast, do a grape fast for a week, or try the Debbie fast of 47 days. Yeah. They'll do you a world of good, but you've got a lot of lymphatic problems to come out of there. And that's, of course, you're going to have heavy fungal with that involved. But the fungal balance, our new handcrafted line, strong. And it is pulling the fungus out of people. But at the same time, your diet has to be antifungal. And that's some of the problems, because the more fungal problems you have, the more you crave breads, cheeses, fermented foods, starches, stuff like that. But you'll be okay. You just work yourself out of this. The Lyme's, lupus, fibromyalgia, remember, is the same thing, systemic acidosis. That's your lymphatic system. So obviously the herbs you're going to use is for the kidneys, right? For your lymphatic system, right? You want to use endocrine glands and double dip on that puppy. That's like 2 dropperfuls 3 times a day. I would take nerve power if you can afford it. Get your nervous system back up so it turns on everything, gets up in the brain, helps some of this, of course, because that just brings blood up into the cerebellum and mastoid as well. It depends where your affordability is, to what you want to take. You want to be on a bowel formula. So those are some of the minimums. You might want to take that parasite formula for a week, but you want fungal balance. Stay on that for a couple of months and see how that yields you. If you got moles on it, take it till they fall off. But you'll be okay, sweetheart. Yeah, but you got some serious weaknesses here that you got to look at. And this back here, genetics, and that's your equilibrium dizziness. Back off, get that lymph moving. That'll back off on the pressure that you get in the tendonitis. That'll back off the pressure of these genetic weaknesses. It should help you bring a little more into balance, and you'll be okay. All right, guys. I want you to have a fun weekend, even though some of you are suffering a lot. But my heart is there for you, and I'm here for you. Our clinic is here for you, and we're going nowhere. We have a beautiful Marco and Debbie and Nicholas is running an incredible help forum. You guys are unbelievable. I can't say enough about you 3 guys. Gals. 2 guys and a gal. And Debbie, you kick butt. 47 days on fruit is amazing. Marco, she's putting you to shame, son. Nicholas, you always look good, except you shaved all your hair off. I grew up with no hair. My farmers shave them, give them what they call a burr haircut. I couldn't have hair till I was like 12, and then they gave me a flat top. And then I got rock and roll. I said, I don't care what you say. My hair's growing. I had the principal every day back me up into the wall of the hall and say, I told you to get a haircut. Oh, I am today. The next day he'd come do the same thing to me. I said, I'm in a rock and roll band, man. Love you guys. You take care of yourselves. And for some of you that are hurting, try our new acid relief tea or capsules. Be really, really helpful, especially in the gut, kidneys, that sort of thing. Again, this is all about the fight between acid and base chemistry. And if acids win, you lose. Okay? And we're not going to lose, are we? Heck no. Namaste. Love you guys.